Hi, this is Maiyegun once again, and thank you very much for joining me. Today, I'm going to be picking on a few topics which borders on one, the economy, because we received the news today that your dollar is now 520 naira to a dollar. And as we all know, this will have its own ripple effect. And I'm going to be analyzing few of how this is going to affect you directly. Remember when I did tell you then that elections have consequences, right? Well, the consequence or the consequences period is here. The next level that the APC Egbekegbe promised you. That next level. Remember I told you that it wasn't next level. It was actually next evil or next devil. Now we are there, a year into the year of our Lord. That is our Lord Bukwari, the year of our Lord 2020, a year into that second term of that next devil or next evil has already started bringing back or yielding fruit. So I'm going to talk about that today. Another thing is that there was a time that we heard about Boko Haram invading the gate to Borno, where they killed so many travelers and many vehicles were burnt down while the Nigerian army and Nigerian soldiers were nowhere to be found. Same thing happened. For years, we have been telling you about Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. This started far back in 2017, where something happened there yesterday. 15 people got killed. No soldiers, no military, no police, no nothing. For hours, they stopped travelers on the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway and they kidnapped undisclosed numbers of people. Again, back to the economy, which happened. That's why I said that we're going to deal with the economy part as well as the security part. These are the two things that Bukwari, one way or the other, told you it was going to, in fact, improve upon. Whenever he become your president. It's been 5 years. I'll give you an idea of the latest that you are into. It's going to get worse, like I do say. It is going to get worse. And before it gets worse, it will first end in tears. Hot tears that many of you are currently somehow inviting us to the pity party. I have told my friends that I won't be part of any pity party when the consequences of your choice and choices from 2015 and 2019 comes back haunting you. So today we were told that your petroleum is now going to be around 175 naira per liter. Wow, that is more or less like ×2 of what you rejected in 2012. Today, you can't even complain. Yes, an average Nigerian can't even complain if they dare complain about whatever they are suffering from right now. You will choose where you want to serve your jail, Kirikiri or Kuje. Whichever one you want to choose, the government will be willing and able to give you that. If you complain, elections have consequences. That is that. Now, your dollar, as I've been told today, we've had people changing and exchanging that same dollar and now for 520 naira to a dollar. Do you remember when I told you about the devaluation of naira, which your government, Bukwari's government, willingly accepted from the World Bank before they could borrow them just $750 million. $750 million to a country, Nigeria, the 7th largest oil producer in the whole world, 2nd largest oil producer in Africa, the most populous black nation on earth, the biggest black nation on earth. $750 million was the reason why they had to, devalue your naira again, and they are borrowing more. The conditions they are giving to them is that Nigerian naira is valueless and therefore cannot really be compared or stand any any other currency when it comes to value. Now we can't. Nigerian naira is as trashy as it should be, as they have made it, and it's going to get worse. I like using that phrase. It is going to get worse. Whatever you are complaining about today, whatever Boko Haram has brought upon you, the 5 years of their their bloody, jihadist government or regime, it is going to get worse. How does this affect you? Someone told me today and said, but Maiyegun, we don't spend dollars. Why should I be worried that naira to dollar is changing? I understand you, bro. I do. But let me be honest to you. This is kind of ignorance that they trade on by making you play down the danger they are pushing you into. Economic strangulation, economic ostracization, whereby they ostracized you economically. When you dip your hands into your pocket right now, maybe I should put it that way. Maybe it will make sense to you, okay? Let's say currently you have a million naira in your bank account. 1 million naira. Wow, lots of money, isn't it? But not so lots of money anymore. In 2015, that's your 1 million naira, right? Will be 1 million naira. But you see that your 1 million naira right now, the value of it has lost quarter of its value. When I say quarter, it means that your 1 million naira is not worth more than 250,000 naira in value. Okay? So even though you feel good, and let me give you another example how that comes to be. In 2015, your minimum wage in Nigeria was around 7,500 naira, remember? Now, let's say you were collecting 40,000 naira, even when they were paying people 7,000 minimum wage. You were being paid 40,000 naira. Now, in the last 5 years, if your salary hasn't changed from that 40,000 naira, or maybe if you're lucky, let's even say they have started paying you 60,000 naira now because your salary has increased by 20,000 naira. Do you know that your 40,000 naira in 2015 is now worth 160,000 naira in cash, but in value, it is far less than that 40,000 naira. How? A bag of rice in 2015, you could conveniently buy yourself a bag of rice in 2015 because you are earning good 40,000 naira, even though it wasn't much, Abi. Economically, right? You could be able to buy yourself a bag of rice. You could buy yourself so many other things. Your children. In fact, you could pay your rent, by the way, with that. Now, the minimum wage in Nigeria 5 years after is now 30,000 naira. And when they take their tax out of that, what do you get? Probably you get paid 21,000 naira. That means 9,000 goes back to the government. If they ever pay you, if they ever pay anyone. Now, from that 21,000 naira, right before your eyes, in 5 years, even though the value of your currency has depreciated, but the bag of rice is now 30,000 naira. There are those who have told me that the bag of rice is now 42,000 naira. Now, think about this. Your 40,000 naira in 2015 could buy you at least 5 bags of rice. Today, even if they have increased your salary or your minimum wage to 30,000 naira, you can barely buy half bag of a rice now. And you know that. That is to tell you that even though you have more money, it appears so, right? But what can you buy with that money now? I have been told that onions in Nigeria is now gold, right? Like if you see anybody who is walking about with a bag of onion in Nigeria, you can actually kidnap them because that's worth, a lot when they have managed to ruin and destroy that same economy, then turn around to turn the country to a beggarly country where they have to beg for virtually everything. Now, they have crashed the value of your money. You will not be able to, number one, you will not be able to get any better standard of living. Let me even put it that way, standard of living that you working, those of you who are even lucky to be working, you will never get that opportunity of living a standard life with a destroyed and ruined currency, economy. That is your life, and they've already traded that away. It's going to get worse from next year. A country that has become beggarly, that is something that should give you a concern. Now, they are making it obvious. For example, in their 2021 budget, as we speak right now, they budgeted so far 13.3 trillion naira for their 2021 budget. Okay, great. But when you look deeper into that budget, it was meant to be a budget to take care of whatever whatever deficiencies or whatever lack anything that is currently making Nigeria the poverty capital of the world right now, you would expect them to put their heart into that budget and looking deeper into the the level of poverty, the level of what the COVID-19, for example, has caused in Nigeria, the pandemic and all of that, that exposed their lives of a working country when people who they told us were living better lives in Nigeria started, breaking into warehouses. And they came back to call them, call them hoodlums. So you would expect them to put their mind, their heart in that budget, whereby they will tackle what they told you is the problem facing the country, poverty. No. They give no damn about your poverty, even though they make money from it, right? You have Shadia, who is playing about with hundreds of billions of naira at her own beck and call, and she gives that to whoever she thinks she wants to give it to. Yes, fighting, maintaining poverty. That's what they are doing. But let me tell you something that you may probably never paid attention to that make people like myself to continue to sound more prophetic, right? Why people think, oh, Maiyegun can be very prophetic. Oh, Maiyegun, you were right. You said that it's so easy to predict all they are doing. And it is so easy as well to predict the end of what they are doing. Some of you get caught unaware where you think, oh, wow, this is sad. I'm so, people like us are not really sad when the effect of what we warned you about start coming to be, okay? Look at the 2021 budget. You will think they are doing something to actually tackle poverty. No, they're not. 2021 budget, 13.3 trillion naira budget. And from that 13.3 trillion naira, listen to this. 3.3 trillion is going to be used to service debt. The gbese that they've been borrowing, they need 3.3 trillion to pay for that in 2021. From the 13 trillion budget, 5.5 trillion is going to be used for their own salaries, allowances, and as usual, taking care of themselves, buying themselves cars, renovating the national, renovating, where renovation money is more and more expensive than the building, the money used in building those buildings. So they want to spend 5.5 trillion. So when you combine 5.5 trillion plus 3.3 trillion, what does that give you? It gives you 8.8 trillion. Maybe let's make it approximately 9 trillion naira. You write a budget for 200 million people, budget of 13.3 trillion. And from that budget, you are going to spend a chunk of it, about 80% of that money, you are going to spend it on yourselves. They don't even have the money. That's another twist to it, okay? They don't have the money. They have to borrow. From the 13 trillion they are budgeting right now, they are projecting to be able to raise 7.5 trillion. 7.5 trillion from 13 trillion. That means they don't even have, they don't have more than 5.5 trillion of the money. Or 6 trillion, I would say. They don't have 6 trillion, even though they have budgeted for that. They don't have the money. They will have to borrow it. Now, in the process of borrowing it, right, your naira will continue to depreciate, and you wake up one morning and you have to exchange your naira for 1,000 naira to $1. And you'll be sitting down there and be like, when did Nigeria turn to Zimbabwe? Yeah, you're on the journey to, in fact, if you are lucky enough to be to Zimbabwe in another 3 years, I will actually have to send an award of excellence, award of achievement to Bokwari, myself, signed by me. You will be worth more than Somalia. You have no idea. You see, when you have Somalia and Zimbabwe all together, that's the scenario of what is coming. Politicians are spending, they are budgeting money they don't have. They are already looting it even before they even get the money. They want to borrow that. And they are comfortably will spend over 9 trillion naira in servicing the debt, which is actually what you are paying for when you pay for their luxury. When the presidential jet, and they are still maintaining 10 presidential jets in Nigeria, poverty capital of the world. You still have what do you call it? You still have Bokuwari budgeting for Aso Rock Clinic. And you will realize that the budget for Aso Rock Clinic is even more than the budget for the National Hospital, Abuja. National Hospital is meant to be a bigger hospital, right? But Aso Rock Clinic is meant to take care of a Bokuwari. And since they have been spending that money on him, changing his diapers, changing his nappy, and the rest of that, ordinary ear problem, when it became deaf and dumb that time, they couldn't clear it. They had to fly him out. Billions and billions, and they continue to spend that right there. So they don't have the money. They need to borrow it. Who borrows money to just buy luxury? Who sit down and budget on money they don't have? Nigerian thieves, Nigerian politicians. So I told you the other day, I said, Una don't buy market. The fact that they told you that you are going to next level, I said, listen, next level. There is no next level. Where you are going was in fact the next devil. And you are going to witness the next evil, which is going to even be worse. Remember, in first term of Bokuwari, when they were still pretending to be interested in providing security for all of you, Bokuwari said he was going to be leading you from the front. I will lead you from the front. I, Muhammadu, which I love to call Mumadu. Mumadu Buhari, I am going to lead you from the front. I will defeat Boko Haram. Today, you know this truth, though it's all right. You can find excuses for them, okay? I understand. Don't worry, okay? But know this. Today's victims, they were yesterday's survivors. You see, tomorrow's victims, they will be today's survivors. Those who survived Boko Haram before Bokuwari became a president, and they also survived Boko Haram under Bokuwari. So far, some of them are not living again to tell the story, because as they were running away from Boko Haram, they were meeting ISWAP, their cousins, on the way. When they managed to escape from those ones, they will meet all their distant cousins too, from Libya, Mali, the Fulani terrorists. If you escape those ones, bros, I am very, very, very sure that you may not escape that of the bandits, the executive omoitas, the government picking. Do you know they are also collecting tax now? Imagine bandits asking you to pay tax. Just think about that. I'm talking to you. Just imagine it for a minute that you are going out of your house just to go on to, with your, with your own daily business. Yeah, you are running your own business, you're managing your own life, going about your normal business undisturbed. But before you can get to that your business place, you will pay tax to bandits. Even though they are telling you that they are doing everything, they have shot this, they've arrested this bandit, they've arrested these cattle rustlers and all that. They are all fake news. Fake news. Your government, which actually make up, produce, and spread fake news, is the same government that is now hunting you down on insecurity. Look at you. Look at Nigeria. Today, even a Shinko that probably has never been to Nigeria will tell you how much of a failure those criminals you have in charge they've been. Lives have been traded and wasted away because your government is lying to you. And here we go. Remember when Kaduna-Abuja Expressway, when the bandit first took over that expressway and people became victims, people were killed, people were kidnapped and all that. Remember then that these criminal jihadist politicians from that part of the country, they came out and denied it, but they were doing something. What were they doing? They were mounting pressure to make sure that Kaduna-Abuja railway line that Jonathan nearly finished then, right, was put to work immediately because they were no longer safe on the highway. They couldn't use the motorway anymore. The motorway was left for you, their regular victims. Right? So, today, as we speak, they have abandoned Kaduna-Abuja Expressway completely. They have abandoned the Maiduguri Expressway, Dambuwa Expressway completely. There are so many other ever busy motorways, expressways in northern part of Nigeria that have now been overrun and overtaken by bandits. Then you ask yourself, Bokwari said he was coming to fix the economy, he was coming to provide security, he was coming to fight corruption, and all these three, he was actually telling you that he was coming to institutionalize them. He came to institutionalize corruption. He came to ruin your economy. And at the same time, is not providing you any security. Today, even in Bokwari's state in Katsina, think about that. His own state in Katsina, the state governor is busy negotiating with bandits. When they duped him and they told him that they were going to stop banditry, after they collected money from him, I'm talking about the former speaker, Bello Masari, the one that is now doing empowerment for coffins. If you are in Katsina state, you can get empowered. They will give you one coffin. If any of your family members get killed or anything, you get a coffin. It's a state policy. And if you are a widow, they kill your husband, they will give you one goat. It's an empowerment. So this Masari, who had no solution, including the lifeless breeding mannequin, Bokwari, they had no solution to protect their own people direct there, right? But Masari decided to negotiate with bandits. Bandits collected money from Masari. They told him they were going to release people captured. So they released about 1,000, among other thousands of people in their captivity. Masari went to, to the media to celebrate it and said, well, we will free more. Do you know what followed? The bandits killed over 11 Nigerian soldiers in one day. Because Masari thought he was smart, they wanted to go and arrest the leader of the bandits. What happened? 11 Nigerian soldiers were gunned down. Like joke. Killed them. Masari came out and started crying and said, nobody should ever make any deal with terrorists. They cannot be trusted. We trusted them. Look at what they have done now. They have killed more people. They have kidnapped more people. Even the 1,000 they released to Masari, some of them have found their way back into the camp of the bandits. People are now negotiating for their freedom. Just a few days ago, some women were freed by the bandits after they were paid money. When those women came out, they said they were raped. Yes, they were abused. Children, girls, they were kidnapped, they were raped, and they also collected money for the ransom, right? And freed them before they freed them. Now, let me tell you this. The way you get to know that your government is the one sponsoring terrorism or making money from it, as we have come to know, is this. Despite all of these atrocities, for the government to show that indeed they are actually fighting for something, for example, you would expect them to come out and show you those they have arrested, those who have committed all these crimes in Kaduna, in Yobe, in Bauchi, in Niger, you know what I mean, in Daura, in Katsina, and all those places where they have displaced people, killed people, destroyed properties, ransacked their villages, and kidnapped people. All those places, you would expect your government to come out and say, yeah, we have arrested these people and all that. No, they won't. Rather, the government is paying them. This is so heartbreaking for anyone who has any kind of, no matter how much how little it is, that anyone that has any tiny bit of humanity in them, you will know how sad this is. People expected your government to protect them and at least shield them from the corrupt politicians. In Nigeria, under Bokwari, they came to institutionalize corruption. Do I need to explain more to you how they have institutionalized corruption? Of course, I will try and show you, explain a bit. Because you know what? When they were hunting people down about those who stole and who didn't steal at the time, you would expect them to at least be honest, honor the memory of dead Buhari. At least he was crying. You remember? He cried and told you that he needed to be your president at least to save your country. Today, more people are killed because of corruption. More money are stolen because politicians are never going to ever deliver or care about you, the people. And when you say anything, you get attacked and picked up. Remember when they told you that they have recovered over 1 trillion or 2 trillion? You remember when they told you their custom was making 1 trillion every year? Do you remember when they told you then that they recovered their loot from looters? Or do you remember Abacha loot as well? All those looted money returned or recouped and all of that. Where are the money today? Because, listen, even when they said well, I know that, by the way, that Buhari, since he came to power, is managed so far so good to receive back Abacha loot that is that is total of that is totaling and above, I would say above $2 billion since he came to power. But instead of them to use the money for what they said they will use the money for, ladies and gentlemen, they relooted the loot. How can you reloot loot? Same way you looted the palliative, then called the owners of the palliative hoodlums. This is what they have done. When they asked the EFCC chief, that is the disgraced Maguluta King. Now, Maguluta King, who was the attack dog, the hunting dog for Buhari, ended up biting himself and swallowing his own tongue in the cesspool of corruption. Today, his friends are multi-billionaires, covered by Magu himself, but well, as Magu now turned to Canary, singing different songs about how they managed to share loot and shield looters from real prosecution, the whole thing ended up as a drama, drama. There are many, just like the one Ponde, the one that they asked about NDDC money, and all of a sudden, Baba started fainting, and the rest of that. All these jokes, all of these stories have put a joke on what Buhari told you he was doing. So if you have to weigh him, the Armageddon is here. Even though if they say NSAS protesters are the aggressors and the, the people who should be hunted down and blamed for all your problems in Nigeria. But the Armageddon is here. The Armageddon is here because the economic war that Buhari unleashed on you from 2015 is taking a next evil and next devil. It's here. You're going to feel it more. More people who lost their jobs under this government are going to feel the brunt more because more are going to lose their jobs again, right? And the most painful part of it is the fact that no matter how angry or how sad you are about this whole thing, you have no right to talk about it. That one is the one coming in 2021. Social media bill will be passed. Petrol is going to be sold for more than 250 naira per litre. And again, more of you are going to lose your job, and more of you are still going to be attacked by the same government. And when you try to say anything, dear, just make sure you prepare for prison, or you will end up joining those who are saying enough is enough. And if you feel like your own enough is not yet enough, wait for it. It is a matter of time, okay? Buhari has destroyed your naira, destroyed your economy. They have destroyed your human rights. They have also taken away that trashy book called the Constitution. They've already trashed it. You are operating on a different level with the APC, Buhari, and their team right now. And the only way, as people will say, Maiyegun, what is the way out? Do you want me to tell you? It is not hard. You just need to begin to tell yourselves that you have no country called Nigeria. It was a business contraption put in place or put together by those who never had who never had you in mind. They didn't have you in mind when they were putting Nigeria together. And for those they handed over Nigeria to, they too. It's like, when you are a grave, grave raider. They call them is it called tomb raiders? Those who goes about to raid graveyards of any leftover valuables from people who have lost everything. Nigeria is like a graveyard. Those scavengers, those scroungers, those pickpockets, those lazy, good-for-nothing criminals you call your leaders, right there, they are scavengers. When vultures visit recently a desecrated graveyard, and they go about to feed on the carcass of the bodies of those who are dead or living in the land of the dead. This is what they are doing to you. Every one of them is a scavenger. Every one of them is a scrounger. Every one of them is a pickpocket. Now, if you want to keep Nigeria to what it is, you are not keeping it for yourself, my brother. You are keeping it for the thieves who are as lazy as the country they are bequeathing to you. Are you going to take that? Or are you going to stand up and stop them? It is all over to you. Yes, over to you. Thank you very much. I'm going to see you some other time when the time allows us again. Thank you.